Welcome back, Marquette readers. We're here with another book buzz. This time we are being joined by Miss Jorgensen. Miss Jorgensen, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. I do want to share some important news. Miss Jorgensen is our special guest this time because she was recently selected as Marquette's Teacher of the Year. So can you tell us a little bit about what you teach?
So I teach a lot of the journalism classes at Marquette, notably the news production class and the digital media production class. And those are the Messenger and MHS News, and then a couple of the prerequisite courses that feed into that. And currently this semester, science fiction literature.
So you are going to talk to us today about Girl Waits with Gun, which is, kind of, we might say, a cozy mystery. Do you just want to introduce it for us?
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, the author, Amy Stewart, is one that I was familiar with before reading this story because she writes nature books. And so I have read some of her nonfiction pieces, like this one is The Tree Collector, which is just tales of like real people and their experiences with trees on their land and in their family histories and things like that. And I've always liked her as a nonfiction writer, and I had discovered that she also wrote this series, which is fiction, Girl Waits with the Gun, and I thought I will give her a chance as a fiction writer. And that was really all I knew about it was, based on the cover, which I do judge a book by its cover, which you know that about me. I thought this looks intriguing. It looks kind of like a fun, like you said, a cozy mystery. There's nothing like super violent about it. It's not gory. It's like super clean and just fun and easy to read. And so I picked this up, and this particular book tells the story of the Kopp sisters, K-O-P-P, but namely Constance Kopp. And what happens is in the very first chapter, the Kopp sisters are going into town in their carriage, and this is like 1914, and they get hit by an automobile that was being driven by a mogul in the dye industry that was kind of monopolizing the town. And these women are not just gonna, let that be, especially Constance, and so she goes after him for damages and really like stands her ground, and the whole book just becomes this like battle with them, and it's trying to like figure out what how she's going to get justice and how they're going to figure out how to like pin it on him. And that's really where the mystery comes in, because there's not really a true like mystery, but there is problem solving, and there's detectives, and there's clues and things, because they're trying to like figure out all these things that he may have also done in order to pin kind of all these things on him so they can catch him and get justice.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. And then when I was done, I thought, well, I really like that character, and I looked and I saw that she actually made it into a series. So right now I'm reading the second one, Lady Kopp Makes Trouble. And the interesting thing about that is that it turns out this is historical fiction, and the character Constance Kopp, she actually in real life becomes the first female undersheriff, which is basically like a deputy underneath the sheriff, and I thought that's pretty cool too. And from what I can tell, this book is pretty accurate to what happened in real life. Like this guy really did hit their buggy with his automobile, and they really did go after him, and all these other crazy things really did happen. So
yeah, is that all in like the author's notes, or did you just look?
There were some in the author's notes, but then like as soon as I realized that, I did Google just to see what background there was. So.
Yeah, I love when author's notes reveal the writer's inspiration, and I love it when we get to learn about history through our fiction inspired by real events. So can you tell us, who do you think would really enjoy this book, or can you compare it to any movies or series?
Yeah. So it does kind of remind me of like Clue, in that it's just like fun. It's nothing gory or scary or like really drama ridden. It's just like good fun. Obviously it's a serious understory with this guy who's like not owning up to his crimes and whatnot, but otherwise it's it's just fun. And also I think this image here on the cover kind of reminds me of some of the clothes and stuff that they wear in the Clue movie. So it is kind of that vibe, I would say, because it is a female character, that female readers will probably be drawn to it more, but it definitely doesn't have to be that way. She teams up through most of the story with the sheriff, and he is male, and he's a fun character too because, you know, he takes a lot of risks as a sheriff, and he makes a lot of choices that I thought were great calls that, you know, maybe other sheriffs wouldn't do. And so there is definitely a male perspective in it too. But yeah.
And what about people who don't love series? Like, could you just read book
you can
one?
totally just read this. In fact, I am a bit through the second one. I don't love it as much as this one. This one I think is just a good kind of complete story. And I don't know like how true to life the rest of the series is, but it sounds like this is pretty true to life. And so I think she had a lot of materials to work with to make that story have a really good beginning, middle, and an end.
It sounds like a wonderful lighthearted read, which some of us, as we wrap up the school year, that is just what we need. So if Girl Waits with Guns sounds interesting to you, we do have a copy of it as well as the sequel down in the library. You can come check it out. Ms. Jorgensen, thank you so much for joining us. Congrats again on your exciting year and all of your reading accomplishments. Keep it up. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.